Hiya guys! So this is a new series I wanted to start on the channel. I feel like I usually have a pretty interesting story or two, and I know that my friends sure seem to like them when I tell them to my friends and all. So, story time! The photo for this, by the way, was done by the talented Nameless. I'll tag him down below. So the first kind of story I wanted to talk about for the series is actually a quite meaningful one to me. You already know what it is by reading the title, but yeah, how I got into animating and drawing. So for animation in general and like animation memes, I've been doing on the channel for almost 5 years now, I think. But for the whole story on animation for my animated web series and actually creating it is a whole other story. So we'll cover both. But we'll start on the animation in general first. So this was back in like 2015, I believe, right? And I had been seeing all these posts and videos of like these cat characters that people would make, and I wanted to do that so badly, but I didn't know how to animate back then. Not like I had the equipment to anyways. So instead, I decided I would do that, but I wouldn't animate them. I'd just draw them. I didn't have blank paper at the time because I didn't have a printer back then, and I didn't do art all that much yet, so I didn't really have a use for it. So I went to my school duotang, or three-ringed binder, because I don't think anyone outside Canada calls them a duotang. So I grabbed it and got a spare piece of lined paper. I wanted to be creative, though. I thought that since everyone was drawing cat characters, that I would make mine wolves, and call them Night Fox, despite them, you know, not a fox. I also drew a nightmare version of the character called Nightmare, which I remember getting inspo for from this one video that I would always watch on repeat that I was obsessed with back then. So that's how I got into, like, art. Then sometime down the line, when I eventually got a phone that wasn't crap, I installed Flip-a-Clip, and then started to learn how to animate, which back then I mostly did random short animations and animation memes. Moving on to how I made my animated series, / how I was inspired to make one. And no, it wasn't because of Edgeworld. And no, it's not inspired by it either. It's inspired by a completely different animated web series, Roommates. And if anyone mentions Edgeworld about my series again, I'm gonna lose it. So I don't remember what I was originally doing because I have bad memory, but this was back in 2019-ish, and I was looking for something on Google Images. I eventually came across this photo that I think I still have saved somewhere. It's up on screen now, hopefully, if I do. It was titled Three Brothers, and I don't know, but something about it interested me.
Hi. Nameless in editing here. So this was the original image Jake sent me for editing. When I saw that, I was like, oh she. I know that from freaking somewhere. So I looked up Freeze Park Three Brothers and found this for a better clip on what he was talking about instead of just a still image, which I'm pretty sure is fan art. And last thing, for more context, the most likely reason that FloJo came up under related for this was either the fact that it was another animated web series, or the fact that he himself did a cameo as a character in an episode. Alrighty then. Back to the video. Nameless out.
So, in the list of the other photos that come up when you click on an image, I saw these photos of other characters come up that were thumbnails for YouTube videos. At first, I thought it was the same thing, so I clicked on one of them. I started watching and realized it was different. It was, you guessed it, Roommates. The very Roommates that my series was inspired by. And no, don't ask what happened to the Three Brothers thing. I think I just saved the photo and moved on. I was watching it and was like, yo, this is so cool, dude, what? So eventually, I became obsessed. I subscribed and started watching all the episodes. I at some point made fan art, band videos, and even did a cover of the old opening theme on both my elementary school recorder and Nintendo Switch piano. I even made the characters as gacha characters. So, a few months down the line, I got to thinking, hey, this is actually really cool. It's cool to watch the first episode, and then compare the art style to the newest one and how better the style has gotten over the years. It'd be cool if I could do that. So, I went into IBIS Paint X, which is the main art app I use for drawing, and started drawing up some bases and junk for the characters. I mainly picked random hair and clothes colors for like the characters that I thought looked good, except for Mark, who I purposely made wear blue and green. If you know, you know. I also really liked the design of Landlord's hair from Roommates, so I tweaked it a tad, to not be a total ripoff, changed the color, and used it for Dan. I then made Jason have pointed hair like Dan's, and Tord's, and also Mark may or may not have hair that looks like Tom's from Eddsworld, but that's the only thing related to Eddsworld about my series. Then, when choosing the names, I wanted them to have meaning, because I realized, hey, Joseph plays Joseph, Coy plays Coy, Ed played Ed, and so on, but I'm just one guy. What the frick do I name these guys? So, I wanted their names to have meaning or be special, and not just random. So I chose the names of a few people I really liked, without putting too much thought into it. Mark, being named after Markiplier, Jason, being after Aphmouse Husbando Jason, and Dan, obviously being named after Dan from the series that inspired me, Roommates. And looking back at the old style compared to now, I mean, it's still not the best, but it's better than what it was when I first started. And hey, the pilot episode didn't even have voice actors. I used those old UberDuck AI voices. So, yeah, that's pretty much a story time of how that happened. And sure, animating kinda sucks sometimes, but I do have fun. I don't enjoy animating, but at the same time I do. Please send help. I am okay. I blame Joseph and 2000s animation memes. Thank you, and cue the outro.